I think you really have to figure out what you want out of that vacation and if it's going to help you out.
Sometimes you come back and you're like, am I more rested or am I more tired from the vacation? Like, did I just go make memories and rest? Or did I just make memories and I'm as equally tired?
I knew that, okay, 20s is not my time for vacations. My time will come when I at least accomplish certain things, and then I feel satisfied when I get to my 30s. Then I could take vacations.
What's up, guys? So today, a little bit more of a fun topic, I would think, and taking vacations and disconnecting from everyday life. I know one of the main things that people are going to immediately say is, what if I can't afford it, right? Especially now, inflation is absolutely insane. Everybody's working to just survive, right? And take care of their necessities, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a little bit of extra means to take a vacation and disconnect, then we both think it's something that it's obviously worth it. And in a sense, like there's something when we first started business, you kind of always said that me going up to visit my sister in Wisconsin was a vacation. Yes and no. I could see how you can say that, but in a sense, if you're not loving the area, visiting family might not be a vacation. But I could totally see where you came from with that one.
Well, I mean, see, with vacation, it's kind of hard to describe it because I feel like you have to, sometimes a vacation could be actually more tiring than staying at home and catching up sleep. Right? Catching up on some sleep. So I guess you have to kind of figure out what you're trying to accomplish, right? What you're trying to get out of that vacation, what you need at that time. Is it because you're stressed, right? That's why you need a vacation? Or is it because, I don't know, what could be another reason? You just want to get away. Maybe you just want to do something. It doesn't matter if you're going to be stressed on vacation, but you just want something different. So if that's the case, then that's fine. But sometimes if you take a vacation, you're going to be stressing, right? You got to catch your Uber, your plane, right?
Yeah.
You miss it sometimes. Now that's another ticket that you have to pay for. You're always kind of on a move. Some people even wake up earlier on vacations than they do for work because you have to get
more out of
exactly.
things.
You want to get more out of it. So I think you have to really figure out what you want out of that vacation, because I went on a trip and that thing was all over the place for the last 2 months that I was there, right? It's so many airplane rides, right? So many Ubers, so many different hotels. I mean, it was a great time and great memories, but it was just hectic the whole way through. So I think you really have to figure out what you want out of that vacation and if it's going to help you out. Because I think catching up and getting some sleep on a Sunday gets me more refreshed than an actual vacation. I feel like I come back from a vacation and I'm tired more so, you know?
I get that for sure. Two that I could compare within the recent last couple of years is several years ago, Jess and I went to Cancun for a week, all inclusive. You know, we woke up, went to breakfast, had breakfast, straight to the pool, was at the pool all day, and then lunch by the pool.
That's more, I would say, of relaxing.
We did 2 excursions just to see some things, but mainly it was just, sit at the pool and chill and relax. Whereas the one that we just came back from, where she surprised me for my birthday, that was all over the place. You know, we were in LA for 2 days to visit Kareem and Mel.
Yep.
And then we went to Joshua Tree National Park for 4 days, 4 or 5 days. And that was hiking every day and seeing new things. And especially with Joshua Tree, everything was spread out. So from our Airbnb to the closest restaurant was 18 miles. So there's a lot of driving, a lot of traveling back and forth. And again, like you said, when you start incorporating all that stuff, the travel with your rental car, getting the rental car, dropping it off, Ubering from the airport to and from, and the flights and all that craziness, it does get tiring. And
For sure.
Sometimes you come back and you're like, am I more rested or am I more tired from the vacation? Like, did I just go make memories and rest? Or did I just make memories and I'm as equally tired?
Definitely. I think the most important thing that you get out of all those is the memories, though. Like that,
Absolutely.
I think, is the key. Because no matter if you're going to be, you know, going through a crazy busy schedule on a vacation, or you're just going and resting all the time like you did in Cancun, because that, I think, is like a nice, relaxing vacation. The memories is what matters, you know?
Right.
So I do agree. I definitely think that you should, if you can, take a vacation. But I mean, it's hard because, like, even at the beginning, I think it took me, when I started business, 19, I don't think I took a vacation until I was 22, right before I moved in with you, which was my first vacation. I think I went to California. That was okay. And then since then, I can't remember when I took a vacation. It was from like 22 where we worked, and I don't think I took a vacation until maybe like...
Till that big one, the one where you guys went for 2 months. I honestly...
No, I went to California again
Yeah, you guys, that was
with
like
Greta, and
a
then
year
I
or
think
two ago.
Florida.
You
But those
moved,
were
though.
like...
That was, you were like,
But before we
looking to-
moved there, yeah, we went to check it out. So it was like
Yeah.
a 1 week vacation. So it was like a stretch of 6 or 7 years, I think, at that time before I went on a vacation. And I don't know, like at that time, would I say I needed one? Because everybody would tell me that I needed one, right? Like, but I didn't think I needed one.
see, I can see where those people were coming from in saying you need one. And certain people were probably saying it because they saw how you were working nonstop, and it was that maybe that you were stressed out, pent up energy, you know, and that they thought that you just needed to relax, whereas you probably didn't. And I think
I felt like if I did go on a vacation,
You'd be
that's
more
when I
stressed.
would be more stressed because
Right.
I'm a guy that needs to get things done, you know? So if I'm like, okay, I'm leaving this when there's so much going on, like I'm not going to be able to enjoy my vacation, you know? I
Right.
need to stay. So like, that's what a lot of people don't understand.
But then I think there were the other half of people who were telling you about the vacations or telling you to take one. And I think what they were trying to get at was what we just said about making the memories. Like, take a break from what you're building right now to take a couple days to make some memories and to know what you're working towards in the end, right? Which is something that we've said like always is end goal, end goal, end goal. But every now and then you got to stop and smell the roses, right? And I think that's where those people were trying to get at with...
And I agree.
You needed to take that break to show yourself what you're working so hard for and to accomplish, to remotivate you again, right? I mean, 6-7 years of sitting in that apartment at that kitchen table with the blackout curtains and drive anybody crazy.
Yeah,
right?
it was like a routine that you're kind of used to, which it was okay. But I agree. I think, you know, that's what they saw. They wanted me to get out of there. But I think they didn't see the part where I used to tell you, and we did an episode about this a couple episodes ago where I said I didn't care too much about my 20s, right?
Yeah.
I knew that, okay, 20s is not my time for vacations. My time will come when I at least accomplish certain things, and then I feel satisfied when I get to my 30s. Then I could take vacations and enjoy myself a little bit better. So like that's the part that nobody ever really kind of
Grasped.
grasped or understood that part. And to me, I was fine with it because it's not like we were unhappy. I can't say that I was unhappy during that time, even though I didn't take any vacations, but it's just that sacrifice. I also knew that I didn't want to spend money on vacations during that time because we weren't yet set, you know?
Right.
Where it's like anything could happen, like a COVID comes in, you don't have any backup money, everything shuts down. Look how many businesses closed down, right?
And we were like, to mention COVID, we were growing a lot. Like the 3-4 months leading up to COVID, that's when we really started to gain some traction. And then COVID hit and we plateaued hard and dipped a little bit.
And then picked up again. So,
Right.
But yeah, because people were freaking out, that was kind of the dip. And then they realized, well, I'm going to be at home for a long time. I want to start a business. And that's where we kind of Booking Koala benefited from that, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I needed to not take vacations at the same time because I knew that you have to save as much money as possible for a rainy day, right? So you cannot always be at zero in the business account in case something happens. So,
Which I'm also glad that you brought up money, because a lot of, again, like we started the episode, a lot of people don't have money to take a vacation. That's why I think a lot of people have been taking staycations, right? Something that you mentioned, sleeping extra on a Sunday, instead of going and spending, $400, $500, $600 on a flight, maybe you could get one cheaper. If you could budget it and you got a year out to plan, I think within $600 you could budget a good week-long vacation if you fly domestically with one of the less expensive airlines, Spirit, Frontier, Southwest. I mean, I flew to Vegas for $30 once with Spirit. It definitely can be done. But I think staycations, like if I didn't want to go anywhere, being in Chicago, me and Jess can get a hotel room somewhere in a different part of the city for a night and kind of experience that. Or even drive like an hour or two into Michigan and stay over there for 2 days and get like a little Airbnb,
or get a couple friends to chip in.
Right, like we did with Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, I feel like, ways to figure it out. So it's just up to you how much you want to spend and then figure out what kind of vacation you want to take. Because, yeah, I mean, you could definitely have vacations that are not expensive. It's completely up to you.
It's also harder, we recognize, having kids and taking vacations too, right?
And pets.
Pets is huge.
Pain in
If
the
you could
ass.
bring the pet, great. If not, well, now you got to find somebody, a family or a friend, to watch them and take care of them while you're gone.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're a good pet owner or a good parent, you don't want, like, okay, you could pay a babysitter to come in, but sometimes it's more than that, right? What if the babysitter is not a good one, right? Money doesn't solve everything.
Right.
So now, like, okay, we have a cat. What if the cat's not comfortable with someone? You can't just leave them just because you're going to pay them, $200 for 2 days or 3 days, and then the cat's hiding and not happy the whole time. So I think when you have pets, it becomes even more challenging.
100%, for sure.
But
I think budgeting in all aspects, right? Business, home life, work life, if you don't have a business, taking a vacation is huge. And that's one thing that I feel like we never learned in any specific class or course growing up. Elementary school,
the budgeting,
middle school, high school. High school, I think maybe you could have taken it as like an extra class if you wanted to. College, sure. But I think those should be mandatory classes.
They should be, at least a little bit of, like, you get something out of it. Because when you go into real life, it's going to be much different, right? Much harder than whatever you're going to be taught. But at least you're going to get a little feel for it and kind of to prepare you for it, If you don't have anything, I feel like that you're setting yourself up for failure. Maybe that's what they want. maybe they want you to start spending all your money, you know, and not budgeting, not saving anything, because that's how everybody else benefits, right?
Right. If
So-
everybody started doing the same thing, stuff would start freezing, halting, you know? You
Yeah.
got to spend money.
No sales tax. That's
Yeah.
throughout that transaction. That's where government gets paid, the state gets paid, right? You need that stuff. They want you to spend as much money as possible. So who knows? Maybe, man, that's a good topic for
That's
some
going
other
into my
time.
tinfoil hat thing again, you know, that mandatory, those classes aren't mandatory on purpose.
Right. Well, when you look at it, 2/3 of, I think, all the money that circulate is on spending in the United States. That's pretty high.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was even higher.
It could be. Last time I checked, which was, I think, recently, it's 2/3, which is,
They love that.
they love it.
They need, I mean, but that's what you need to have your economy going. You need money to be circulated. It needs to keep moving. If it's stagnant, then there's no growth, right? As much as we hate the government taking money for taxes, it's essential for everyday things, right? The public system, schools, roads, transportation.
Well, that I think is still a different thing, because that's property taxes. You still gotta like pay for that, and that's not necessarily spending. You're mandatory to pay that, right? So that's a whole different topic. The spending, that's I think separate. But I think we can talk about that in a different topic, because that's an interesting one, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
But so for vacation, because when we were doing business, you didn't take vacations either.
I didn't go anywhere. The only ones that I went were when I would go visit my sister up in Wisconsin for like Christmas or like one of my nephew's birthdays. That was it.
Why didn't you take any?
Spent money. I
Money,
didn't have
right?
it. Yeah, I didn't. Well, one, it was I didn't want, like, we were starting the business and I had so much still to learn, which was one point. And two, because I was focusing so much on learning business, I only worked those 2-3 days a week at the restaurant. And that money was just to cover basic living expenses and no saving, no extra. So
Yeah,
there
so you
was no
couldn't-
money for even budgeting a vacation. A vacation to me at that time was hanging out with friends one full day and just like not caring, going to the beach or playing basketball and then doing something else. You know, it was more staycation style.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I feel like that's how I lived my 10 years in the 20s. That was my kind of vacation. I figured out things that I enjoyed doing at home or around the house, like going to the gym, right? That kind of freed up my mind. Watching TV, we
Video
played a little
games.
video games. What else? I mean, here and there we would go maybe somewhere during the weekend, hang out with people, things like that. I feel like that is a very underrated vacation in a way, right? Because you're not going anywhere, but it's a vacation for your mind, I guess, right?
I'd like to see, maybe we could do a poll of this in the comments. Would people think that would be a vacation? Staying home and doing everyday things that some people handle and do that maybe don't have a business, but just a 9-to-5, essentially just like a regular job, right? Mm-hmm. Would they consider people who don't really play video games a lot or watch TV, would you consider that a vacation? Like you said, it's a vacation for your mind. It's a time to reset. But is it comparable to another? Like on your body, what you get out of it, would that be the same as going to a different place, taking a flight, and spending several days there?
When you look at it that way, I don't think so. But when you look at why people take a vacation, I mean, there's only, I think, two reasons. You go to make new memories, or you go to actually get away from things, right? So it covers one of those things, but does it cover the other one? I mean, it can. You're making memories with friends, right? You could make memories in the gym or whatever. You could make new friends. So I would think so. Plus, for some people, like if they go out and spend actual money on a true vacation, down the line, couple weeks later, that might actually make them stress more because they spent money that they maybe didn't have, right?
Right.
So I think that's the number one thing people should be looking at. Like, how can I make memories, but how can I do it in a way where I'm not stressing, 2 weeks or 2 months down the line because I blew my budget? To me, see, that's probably what would happen to me in my 20s. I would be like, damn, I don't want that feeling, because why would I want to add more stress on top of what I already go through every single day, right? So I guess that's kind of how I look at vacations. Now it's different, right? Now we're making more money, a lot more money. So now taking a vacation, a true vacation, which you would call, or what most people would call a true vacation, now we can do that. And when you compare the two, because I've done both, right? The ones where you, I guess, go to the gym or hang out with friends, consider that as a vacation or staycation versus like going out somewhere. And what's the big difference? I mean, it's so hard to really say because you're happy in both instances, Here you just have some kind of memory and you can say, okay, I went to India, right? Or I went to Tokyo or something like that, right? Or you went to Italy.
Yeah.
That's the only difference that I would say.
I want to see what Webster's definition of a vacation is.
But I think you just have to figure out what you're going to be happy with, whether it's going on a vacation or not, because some people truly won't care, I don't think.
So, definition is a period spent away from home or business in travel or amusement.
Yeah, so I don't think going to a different country or going to a different state would be a thing, because you're still going away somewhere. It could be a 3 hour.
Well, it's away from home or business, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the staying home and watching TV, playing video games, that's a little different. So a staycation would be like remove yourself from your home for a day or two.
So go to the beach.
I'd say like physically check into a hotel or an Airbnb for a night. That's more vacation / staycation.
What if you go on a sleepover to your friend's house? Technically you're at a different place.
Yeah.
And I would consider it as a vacation.
I think ultimately is happiness factor at the end.
And that's what I was saying.
That's all. Whatever you get out of it, if you want to call it whatever, vacation, staycation, sleepover at a friend's house, what have you, as long as your happiness is there and it's out of your normal routine, I think it's a vacation.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
I'm curious what everybody else thinks. Leave a comment and we'll see what your definition of a vacation is.